Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future trading. We strongly recommend to stay on a sim as long as needed before you go live. This future trading, there is a high risk in the future trading. All our videos are for educational purpose only. You're very welcome to follow any of our automated signal. As long as you are on a sim, we're not responsible for your trade, and we are not your financial advisor. Sorry, I'm talking and a little bit trying to set up the charts, and then we will start cover some of the automated trade and the signal. We will be using three different type of an automated trade. The signal on the right upper corner. The signal on the right upper corner, it is the entry 4154, target 4143, as you see it on the blue chart. The market analyzer is based on one contract. At the moment, we have 500 ticks into the profit. The signal just fired a few seconds ago. So the blue charts, as you see, is coming from the automated signal on the left upper corner market analyzer. On the right upper corner, we have we have many different scalpers. So this is, some people get confused. We have a lot of different scalpers. And now it's coming in new scalpers as well. So we have like maybe around 4 or 5 different kind of scalpers, automated scalpers. On the right upper corner here, this is a 15-second signal automated trade. This is not the same auto trade as this one here. This one here is a TI7 and a V8 for NinjaTrader 8. This is a total different automated trade, but we will cover that as well. But this one here, the white chart with a line, this is the signal for the market analyzer. As an example, you can see there is a Russell entry sell, and we have 163 ticks on the market analyzer, because the market analyzer is based on one contract, but we are using 2 contracts. This is another example on the ES. We are using one contract on the ES, and as you see, where is the entry says 4158, target 4146.50, and it's right there, right on the target. So this is one kind of an auto trade, and this one here, those two are one kind of auto trade, and this kind is a total different automated trade. And I just finished the first trade on the CL, and you can see the total amount 520 on that trade. So we will cover that auto trade, but at the beginning we will start with the signal automated trade, and with the scalper signal automated trade as well. On the market analyzer, there is a 5. This market analyzer here, there is a 5 different automated trade. I mean, we have a huge package with auto trades. It depends what you want to do in this life. If you want to take it a trade with your knowledge and use an automated trade, or you just want to turn on an auto trade and keep your eye on the market, it's up to you what you want to do. You can do both of way. So let's before we get lost with all the trades, the first things we need to do every morning before we start any auto trade, before we put anything in the market, before we put any money on the table, we have to understand where we are in the market. If this market overrun, if the market is a chop, if this market is running, trending, it is going to have a huge impact on your profit and your daily target. Even if we are auto trading, is irrelevant. If you are auto trading, you have to understand when there is a chop market and when there is a trending market, or when the trend is over and now we are going for a long trade. Those are important element. No matter what kind of auto trade you are using from us or somebody else is irrelevant. You have to look at the market for a few minutes to evaluate where we are going. The best signal in the house in any trading is your ES. Once you start understand where is this ES going, you will understand the whole market. Even if you are a Nasdaq trader, you have to look at the CL. This is the first things we see. We try to look at the charts to see where we are in the market. Is it over? Is the short over? Are we going to turn around? If this market is jammed between a hard support area and a resistant area, we need to know all those information before we start using the real money. Another things also, which is a very clever to look at the market analyzer. As we see from the market analyzer, the instruments are in sequence. Once those instruments are in sequence, no matter what you do, whether you are a manual trading or an auto trading, you are going into the right direction. As an example here, the ES, we have a sell position. The Nasdaq is on the sell position. The YM is on the sell position. And the 30-year Treasury bond is the opposite direction. That indicate the market is synchronized. There is no play in the market. And the market is going one direction. Only one direction, short. Now, to go a little bit further to examine what's going on in the market, now we have understand and we have spotted that this market is short only. There is no long trade. There is no long trade, not unless if you are trading reversal, that's a different story. And then what we do, you need to do, and that is every morning, gentlemen. Every morning you have to do that. And then now we understand the market is in sequence, and the market is on one direction, and there is no play in the market. Very fine. So now we go on the small details. As we see here on the ES, there is 41.46 level. The ES is having a problem with that from 10 o'clock. Right now it's 10:10. So it is very important to see if this line, we can break this line. It's very important. So by activating an auto trade right here on the spot, that is going to be a little bit a problem. And because now what we are facing on the ES, we are facing a double resistance, and a double resistance at 41.4975, and the ES is having a problem to go farther down than 41.46. So in this condition here, when you see, if you are in the trade, I mean, we have the ES on the trade. I'm not going to mess with it. It's going to the right direction. We don't need to mess with the ES direction, and it's already took that trade, so I'm not worried about it anymore. But for this guy right now, if you want to try to turn on your ES, you need, it's very important. It's really important, folks. Otherwise, you're going to start getting yourself jammed every morning, $200 losses or $150 losses. It's very important right now when we see this ES is having a hard time at this 41.46 level, and I have a heavy resistance at 41.50. Hold on a little bit to the auto trade. No matter where this auto trade coming from, whether it's from me or somebody else, it's not going to change the fact the ES having a problem at 41.46 and having a resistance at 41.50. That is not going to change whether you are a manual trading or you are an auto trading or you are a scalping or you are a swing trading or you are hedging the future market. It's irrelevant. This market is stuck between those areas, and it is very advisable to wait till this market to break out. You're not going to be missing anything. Normally in these cases here, the market to try to find an exit either up or down, depends on the supply demand or on those guys if they still want to go further short with the ES. So what we are talking about here, 41.46, even if this market break the 41.46, has to come back to confirm. So when you are auto trading, you're not going to be missing any number on the first breakout, which we have an entry as a breakout. So you will be the first one at the front line taking the trade on any given breakout in the future. You can do that as an aggressive entry, but we do have that entry. So if we have the auto trade on the breakout entry, the minute it's gonna come to the 41.46, it's gonna go ahead activate trade, trying to beat the market to go short. So we do have those entries, the conservative entries, the breakout entry, and we have also the entries based on the auto trade, based on the pullback re-entry. So if this market breakout pullback, the auto trade will re-enter the same level. So those things is you have a huge variety in the auto trade to choose your battle, to choose which direction you want to go. One of our traders, he said, Sam, when I turn on the scalper, the market is trending. When I'm taking the swing trade, and the market is scalping. And when he said that you will see immediately that he's not looking at that chart for a couple of 3 minutes before he activate his auto trade. Because if you look at it, he will immediately spot if this market trending, or if this market got jammed in a channel, as you see here. The market is jammed from 10 o'clock, going to the support area at 41.46, going to the resistance area at 41.50, and it's going back and forth. And that is not healthy for any kind of auto trade, because any kind of auto trade, whether it's from us or somebody else, an auto trade, in order for that auto trade to activate a trade or plot a signal in there, is require a couple of 3 bars, you know. So by the time you take that trade here, and maybe the auto trader start thinking long in here, and might activate a long trade and might think is short, and then the market goes back the other direction, and you get butchered in here. And this is something here. It does not matter if you are using a scalper or you are using a swing trader. This is really, guys, very important. It's not every auto trade is an auto trade, and the worst things for any kind of auto trade, when the ES stays locked in a channel, as you see here. So there is no money to be made, and there is no manual trade. So for the guy who's been around long enough, there is no money to be made here manually. And when there is no money to be made manually, there is no money in the auto trade. And I noticed that when you see a trade can be traded manually, an auto trade, when he takes that trade, most likely is going to be winning a trade. And when I don't see any manual trade, or I don't see any entry, normally the auto trades gets in trouble. So we don't need to be an expert traders, but we don't need to sit in a room trying to pay anyone money to learn. It's a very simple basic, which is a very bad habit in the morning when a guy turn on his Ninja Trader. The first things he does, he auto trade, he activate the auto trade, and then he start looking at the market. So in any given condition, whether you are on a CL, ES, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, whatever, when you come in the morning before you start your auto trade, if you see something like that, where the market is going sideways and is getting stuck in that channel here, hold on activating your auto trade. Don't ruin your morning. It's very nice to start your auto trade in the morning. For me, it's very important the first trade on the auto trade to be winning trade. Very important for me. The reason is when we are looking at the chart and we can see there is a sideway, we wait a little bit until we see the breakout. Eventually, this auto trade is gonna take a trade, and most likely is going to make it once we get exit out of that jam area here. And it is very important for that trade, whether he makes the first trade $100 or $200 is irrelevant, because for me it is very important the first trade, because if you make $100 on that trade, or 150 or 200 or whatever, at least you start getting comfortable on the next trade. So if the next trade didn't make money, you're not using your capital or your hard money to take chances on your second trade. You are using the money from the first winning trade, which have a great impact on your mood in the morning, or if gives you, a little bit more comfort when you have the first trade. Because if we have the first trade and you didn't notice or you didn't see in here, the market was sideways or jammed between support and resistance. And then if you take the first trade and it could be losing a trade, and then it gets you nervous if the second trade you have a losing trade. So you are already in the hole in the market and you have not even started your day. So have a direct impact on you to look at the chart before you start auto trading, and make sure the market is moving. That's all what you need to do, and it's not stuck in some kind of channel. And then when you are auto trading, it's irrelevant what auto trade you are using. And then once you have the first winning trade, now you are more comfort on your second and the third. So if you win the second trade, good. You are halfway home. So what you need, probably another trade or two, and you're done for today, is out of the way. If you have a losing trade on the second trade, at least you're breaking even, and now you're going forward with the third one, with the third trade. So there is a huge impact on the first trade. It's very important on the first trade to be a winning trade. Remember that, guys, no matter where you are, no matter what kind of auto trade you have. So there is change your whole day if we can look at the chart for 5 minutes before you start your auto trade in the morning. So enough of that. We have the scalper, the signal scalper here, the Russell, is coming straight to the target at 29.97, and then we have the ES is about to hit the target, but now the target go further. And what I did, I have extend the target to the next level. But if I keep it here, it's gonna extend by itself automatically, and it's gonna switch from scalping to swing trading. This one here is not the same kind of auto trade. This one here is the TI7 for NinjaTrader 8, and there is two versions of it. It is the same entry, the same exit, but with a different approach to NinjaTrader platform, NinjaTrader 8. For optimization, we have developed, and we have kept the older version for the guys that just want to optimize the old way. And the second version, the V8, is a new version, and we have done something for the optimization, but it's the same entry. So right now, as we see here, the system on the signal estimated your target is 41.35, 41, I'm sorry, 41.42.25, and it is right there on your market analyzer, 41.42.25, target hit. I overwrite I overwrite the auto trade and took it to the target 2. The target 2 here is an institutional trade number, and once we hit this institutional number, you're gonna see the market is profit taking on the institutional target 2. You have target 1 and target 2. So the target 1 is already we already got on the target 1 and profit taken, as you see. So what you see in here is not a reversal, because this is the target 1 is an institutional number, and the institutional hit the first target, profit taken, and that will kick the ES back. And then once you hit the target 2 on the ES, walk away from the computer. There is not much to be done. And we've been using those numbers for at least 16, 17 years, and 99.9% of those vendors with NinjaTrader, they don't even know they exist. And I got those from Europe, from Luxembourg, when we were trading the gold and the silver. So this is those numbers. They still working, and they've been working for over 20 years, 25 years, and not too many people having access to it. That's why it's still working, because it's not in the retailer's hands, and it's not on a guy selling auto trades, and he don't know how to trade a paperback. He don't even know they exist. So the target 1 is a profit taken, and now we are going back. And once we hit the target 2, for the last 20 years, it's the same story. After you hit target 2, sometimes if this market is really trending, we're gonna hit target 3, but normally 90% or 80%, the target 3 is for the afternoon session. But once you hit, on a normal days, once you hit target 2, the market finish, and then what it does is stay half an hour, 45 minutes between target 2 and target 1, going back and forth, because it's finished, it's done. So right now we have done the target 1, and we are still missing target 2 at 41.35 level. If we look at the NASDAQ, it's the same story, gentlemen. Here is your target 1, profit taking, go back to the re-entry point. This number here is a re-entry point, and it's right there on the NASDAQ. It's 1341.25. This is a re-entry point. And as you see, this bar pulled back, went back, and coming back to the re-entry point. And it is a matter of time before we hit target 2. Once we hit target 2, it's finished for today. There is no such an auto trade, and there is no such a manual trade is going to overcome what is going to happen. It's going to go between target 1 and target 2 for half an hour once we achieve target 2. And nothing is going to happen, no direction, and it's going to just drive you crazy. Now, if we look at the NASDAQ went back, as if you are following us on the YouTube, coming exactly to the re-entry point is at 43 level. And so now we are dancing between the re-entry, and it's a matter of time we hit the target 2 and it's finished. So this is now is 10:26. We already planned the direction for this market, and we know where is the momentum in the market, where is the pressure in the market, and we cannot predict it 100%, but we predicted most likely 80 out of 100. This is what is going to happen. It's going to come and hit target 2, and it's done for today. There is nothing is 100% in auto trading or manual trading or winning. There is no such a thing called 100% in the market. You're going to have some beaten day, some good days, some days you're going to be very happy. Another day you feel like, when I take the computer and toss it out of the window and never open a computer again. So it is a love-hate relation with the market. And during those years, you get to learn how to be patient and have how to respect the market direction, and also on the personal level of life, the market gives you day after day, year after year. It gives you the patience. It gives you to think before you act. And I noticed I was an extremely hyper person, and during those years I calmed down a lot, and before every other month I need a new computer because I took the computer and threw it away. And now it got very expensive. I don't do that anymore for the last few years, and I don't do that. It got very expensive. So, I mean, then, during those years, you just brush down to be patient. And on a bad day, you just say, I just have a bad day, to be distanced from it. So, right now, there is no other option. We are going to the direction to target 2. For the re-entry, we still on the pullback re-entry on the short. It's not over yet. And the ES, there is a re-entry right here, right now. If you want to take it, it's on a sim, not live. We're not responsible for your trades. So this is a re-entry right here, short on the ES, and this is a re-entry short on the NASDAQ. And if you want to take those trades, please, again, be on a sim. This is not a trading room, folks. This is an educational room. Okay, guys, there is really not much going on. The market is really sideways, and as we said before, there is no long trade, and there is no long trade, and the market is going back where we have planned it before. Uh, the market is extremely sideways, and as you see from the market analyzer, is all in red. It's not getting anywhere. So we're gonna call it off for today, and we need to learn how to stop when there is no trade. As we see right now, when we first started, it was all in green, and now it's all in red. Welcome to trading. Nothing we can do. Nothing can make money when the market is really chopped to the long side. And as we said from the beginning, the market is short, it's not long. And the market tried to go long, but no success. There is no trend to the long, it's only short. So there is nothing except bad news in the trading right now. So we're going to call it off for today. Thank you very much, and God